nigga, I'm the nation, so we got
Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So I'm just, this is gonna be a quick video, hopefully, because I just want to address the drama that has just recently happened. So, I'm on Twitter, but I don't engage so much on Twitter. I just go there for time to time just to see what is trending, what is happening and all of that. And then one fine day, like yesterday, I opened the Twitter and James Corden was getting cancelled left, right, and center. And I didn't know why. And I just saw that armies were like really angry at him. And I thought to myself that, okay, James Corden, really? I mean, army loves him, but what happened? Then I found the clip that was, the clip in question where James was talking about BTS's recent visit to United Nations, where they of course performed Permission to Dance and they gave a speech on SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. And so there are two parts to this. Number one is the two statements that he gave. So I wanna share my opinion on what he gave and what I think. Was it right or wrong? And of course, my opinion can differ from yours. You can definitely share your opinion in the comments. So the first thing that he sort of said was that BTS, like United Nations had very unusual guests as BTS. The BTS were unusual guests, and a lot of armies got offended at that. I was like, I was very indifferent to that. For me, I think maybe instead of unusual, he could have said unique guests, because it's very rare. It's very rare for musicians who to be having such a big impact that they get invited to United Nations for what? The third time, second time in person, but third time I think overall. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I really I'm very indifferent to that statement. It's a rare feat for BTS. It's very rare. It's, this kind of an occurrence is like once in a lifetime. You will not see just musical artists left, right, and center getting to give a speech in United Nations and talk at that podium. So so I was like, okay, fine, what next? Then he said that United Nations, like the world leaders, had to sort of invite them because they have the largest army, and the audience laughed. So that was also that was a play on words. I mean, was it a great joke? Not really. Was I offended personally? Not really. To be honest, I was not really offended. And I think what he said next was why armies have been so angry. So what he said next was that 15-year-old girls, this is what he actually said, 15-year-old girls, I bet 15-year-old girls were dreaming at this moment to be the Secretary General. This is the statement that he gave, that I bet 15-year-old girls are were dreaming of being the Secretary General. Why? Because of course BTS was present. So I've seen a lot of backlash happening on this particular statement, where armies have been saying that James called armies like the fandom 15-year-olds, like the fandom comprises of 15-year-olds. Now my take on this. Firstly, I'm not defending James, like defending, but his actual statement was 15-year-old girls. Specifically, he's only talking about that set. He has not addressed the armies as 15-year-olds. So, I mean, I've seen that clip many times. I thought to myself, let me just see it objectively. I am an army, so I'm not going to be like pissed. When I saw that clip the first time, when I played it for the first time, was I upset? A bit. And I'll tell you why I was upset. But when I played it repeatedly, I was like, he has insulted the army, but not the entire army. And I'll tell you why I was actually upset on that statement. It is not because he has generalized the army as 15-year-olds. He actually did not say that. That's not his statement. Technically, if you just go by his statement word by word. But what made me sad is that he has sort of demeaned the teenager population. Like actual 15-year-olds. He actually sort of, reduced the 15-year-old teenagers, and specifically girls over here, to human beings who have nothing better to do than to dream day in and day out about BTS. And that is insulting to the actual 15-year-old girls. And when I say 15-year-old girls, I mean the teenage population, the teenagers. So he took a shot at teenagers, demeaning teenage girls specifically. He never talked about teenage boys, but he talked about teenage fangirls, where he is sort of demeaning them and saying that they are only dreaming about being near BTS. When I was 15-year-old, let me tell you, I had bigger things on my mind, like passing my board exams, like actually topping my board exams and getting the stream of my choice, because I want to go to a good college. And it's really surprising because teenagers across the world, who are even less than 15-year-old, let's just take the bracket as 13 to 18, 19. Let's just, I'm not going to address it as 15-year-olds, but 13 to 19, that spectrum, where the teenagers are really mature. I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying, if you are generalizing them as, delusional fans and who have nothing better to just, look at BTS posters and just go gaga over them, it's okay to be a fan, but teenagers have a lot on their plate also. And the teenagers now who have missed probably, going to actual offline classes, they are finishing their studies online. They have, like, at this moment, the teenagers who are graduating, they have a whole set of challenges ahead of them, because they have been stuck inside their house. They are trying to keep in contact with the outside world. A lot of teenagers are facing anxiety issues, so there is a problem of social anxiety, because you have been stuck inside your home because of the pandemic, and you're trying to sort of, normalize your own routine. And then imagine after a very long gap, you go outside, you're going to have a certain sense of social anxiety. And teenage year is such that, your mind can go either way. Either you come out extremely confident on the other side, or you actually develop anxiety and you wonder that, oh my God, what am I going to do next? So teenagers, I think, have a lot of problems in their hands already. They have a lot of challenges. And this is exactly what BTS, I don't even know if James Corden even bothered to look at the speech that they gave on the podium, where they actually, addressed this issue, that people are trying to stay in touch and all of that. And RM said that a lot of people think that, young people are losing their way. But the thing is that young people are actually taking it up as a challenge and trying to make the best possible situation out of whatever they have been given. They have been, the youngsters today who have a future ahead of them, who want to make a career, they have been actually given a very bad hand because of COVID, and they are trying to make use of this hand that has been given to them in the best possible way to do the best for themselves. And this is exactly what the speech is about. And I found it so ironic that he gave that statement. So that's where I felt really bad. And we just technically talked about that this generation, the coming generations, are going to be, the welcome generation, who have welcome challenges. So that is where my problem with the statement was. It was not that he referred to ARMY as 15-year-olds, because he actually didn't do that. My problem was that he demeaned the teenagers. He demeaned the actual struggles that a teenage girl, specifically, he didn't talk about fanboy, I'm specifically talking, he became very gender specific. So I'm going to be pretty gender specific here also. But yeah, even boys and girls equally are facing challenges, in their teenage years. People, even in their early 20s, people who have been graduating, they have really, they're having problems looking for jobs and stuff like that. Not everybody is landing a good pay package. So it's been a struggle for people. So that is the problem. So I think, was James actually, is James a cloud chaser? I don't know. Maybe not. Was I expecting it from James? Not really. But I remember when I was, when Butter had released, and I was sort of reacting to all the Butter performances in the American shows, I had said specifically that I will be waiting for their performance in the James Corden show, but it never happened. So maybe something happened at that point of time that James is a little sour, and he thought that fine, maybe some decision has been taken by Hybe, and maybe James is just like, okay, fine, they're never gonna come in my show, so I'm just gonna say whatever I want. I don't know. We don't know what happens between two entities, because they are television, they have their own management. His show has his own management. Hybe has its own management, and they are coordinating. It's not like James and BTS are talking and they are calling each other on phone and saying that, oh, okay, so you're gonna come in our show. No, that doesn't happen. It's like their management team, James Corden's show's management team, Hybe's team, they come in contact, they negotiate a deal and stuff like that what kind of promotions are going to happen. So this is all business. But I genuinely felt whatever interactions I have seen of BTS and James, I thought he was fine. Like, he actually genuinely liked the boys. And I have seen enough interviews and enough episodes of James Corden with different guests where he actually makes the guests feel comfortable. It could be, of course, for sure, he has to make the guests feel comfortable. But sometimes I felt that maybe a couple of them are actually friends with James, and even though BTS probably are not friends with James, but I think they liked James, and James also liked them. What happened now? Something happened, probably that their relationship strained. Unfortunately, that could be a possibility. And then, the James's writing team, production team probably said, just say these lines and stuff like that. Was it funny? It maybe meant as a joke. Was it funny? I did not find it funny. At least the 15-year-old joke, I was like, dude, teenagers are not like that. That's what I felt. Now that is James's side. How ARMY responded? Now ARMY were visibly upset, and a lot of them were expressing grief on Twitter, on social media platform, which is fine. You can express your grief. Where I was pissed off with ARMY is when they started sending death threats to James. That is absolutely uncalled for. And please don't tell me these are the toxic ARMYs. Just don't try and convince me and all of that. I don't care who these people are, but this behavior of sending death threats to someone over 2 sentences is where I draw the line. I love the boys to the moon and back. You guys know it, my viewers. You guys know it, how much I love and appreciate the boys. But that does not mean if somebody says something upsetting, and as an ARMY, I will go and post death threats to that person. That is where I draw the line, and that is where I don't. It's ironic that ARMYs would do this. A section of ARMYs would do this. I'm not saying all ARMYs are doing this, but at least a section of ARMYs have done it. And my problem with that is that how ironic it is. BTS members are not new to death threats. They have themselves got death threats. And it's really ironic to me that ARMYs would resort to the same, because when a member is getting a death threat, how painful it is for the fandom. How painful it is for the fandom. We are scared, we are stressed, we try to protect the artist. And to just do that to a person who has just, sort of mocked BTS is unacceptable to me. It's unacceptable to me. Just because I'm part of the fandom, I'm not going to accept everything that the fandom does. And this is writing death threats is where I draw the line. Is where I completely draw the line. I will never, ever, appreciate this kind of behavior. You can be salty with him and you can be like, fine, I don't like James anymore and all of that. But you cannot wish death upon somebody. You wouldn't want somebody to do that to BTS, right? So why would you do that to the other person? It's absolutely unacceptable to me. So that is something that pissed me off about ARMYs completely. I said, okay, this is not done. Like, literally, the artists that you look up to are giving a speech of how young people are struggling and how they are accepting their challenge. They have given speeches about loving yourself, accepting yourself, spreading love and positivity. Just uphold that. You make the artist look so bad. It's not fair to them. It's not fair to BTS. BTS cannot control everybody's mouths. But the fandom, as such a big fandom who has who has an influence. Believe me, armies have influence. Armies have power to make a change. Armies actually have power to make a change because we are so diverse, so connected, so united. We actually have power to make a positive change. We actually have power to sort of execute BTS's vision on ground. We actually have that power to do that, but just don't misuse that power. Just you realize you have the power, but just misusing it just to cancel someone so badly, by sending death threats, it's not okay with me. It's not okay with me. And you know, you call James anything, call him a cloud chaser, this and that. Just stop wishing death on him. So that's the army part which I did not like. I already told you what I did not like about James's speech, but I did not. This is the army behavior which I did not like. And believe me, with James, and I think Hybe is at a position right now where they can really pick and choose where they want to promote BTS. And I think Hybe is more interested in selling out stadiums, in selling out actual stadiums and do concerts, than to make BTS go to each and every American show. I think their priorities have also changed. And if something happened between BTS and James that soured the relationship, so be it. We are nobody to, you know, comment on that because we don't know. We are not from either of the management teams to actually, you know, understand that situation, because that kind of talks and all, they happen at a very high level. There's a lot of money involved and all of that. So it's a whole different ball game together. So what is going to happen in future, I don't know. Am I going to cancel James? I won't do that. I won't do that. I'm very indifferent to all of this. I don't want to give him so much importance that, oh my god, I'm going to cancel you, and I'm not going to waste my energy on that. Seriously, I'm over that drama. I'm at a point of my life where I don't give shit about drama. I just don't. But this is something that I really wanted to address in terms of James's statement, what I did not like, and Army's behavior, what I did not like. So there are flaws in both. Both of them are some sort of in the wrong, some sort of it's not black and white. It's a full gray area that you can actually analyze and think back and analyze the situation. You have to, as an army, you have to think back and analyze the situation. Okay, I am very proud of BTS's achievement. Whatever James says, whatever he says, it does not matter, because the achievement that BTS has done, what they did going there and actually giving a speech on sustainable development goals. A handful of artists, musicians will get this opportunity. So they are leaders of their generation. BTS are actually youth icons. And that's what matters to me. My energy, if I am into K-pop, I'm going to spend my energy in spreading that positive message and taking the positive and actually applauding their achievements, than to, spending all my energy in hating somebody whom I don't care about, honestly. So yeah, that's where I stand. That's my opinion, and those were my thoughts on this entire drama. And it's very childish of James's management team to write those dialogues. I mean, any Tom, Dick and Harry could have known that they are going to face backlash if they put out a statement like this. It's just unavoidable. And the fact that he deleted that thing, just don't delete it. Just talk on top of it. If you're facing a backlash, I think armies are even ravished because he deleted that later. Like, then you are sort of admitting that you made a mistake, and you're just trying to erase it. But what stays in internet always stays in internet. So even if you have deleted it, we have the clips. So I mean, that was a stupid move. From a marketing and business perspective, and from your brand reputation perspective, that was a stupid move to do. So yeah, that was the video, guys. I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. They can differ from mine. I don't mind that, but I definitely want to read your thoughts. So yeah, I will sign off now. Bye bye.